Yo, 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 what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Kris KeyZ. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get started using Logic Pro X from A to Z. You know, if you're a beginner or even if you're immediate, you might want to stick around. I'm going to show you some tips, some tricks, and some ways that I kind of create music. And I think that this will very much help your workflow. So let's dive right in. So I'm gonna start we just open up Logic. We're gonna start with an empty track, and you know, we're gonna create everything ourselves. We're not gonna use AI. We're not gonna drag in any samples, and everything I'm gonna use is strictly coming from Logic Pro X. I think Logic technically has one of the best DAWs and user-friendly DAWs out there, and offers really a lot for the price. There's no subscription with it. You just pay a one-time fee. I think it's $200, and they give you updates that I've been having for several years. So the first thing we're gonna do is, I like how now they offer more sounds. So if I open up on my tab on this top left, if yours isn't open already, I want to open up and get some more sounds. So let's go to get more sounds. And if you haven't seen this already, there's tons of sounds that you can pick from. Cool thing is they give you the Kalani Shoulda Never demo project. Be sure to go watch my other videos in the past. I do a full breakdown on this Logic Pro, a full professional breakdown with Kalani and Usher. Very cool. But let's download some instrument packs. Since I don't know what I'm feeling today, I'm gonna let the music, the sounds take me somewhere. But let's start with vintage. I feel a little vintage today. Let's do vintage. So if I click on it, we can just get the sounds, and it takes literally maybe 5-10 seconds for it to download that pack. And the cool thing is, if you want to ever come back and delete it, you can. So let's download maybe one or two more. I don't recommend going to this and just downloading everything. From my personal experience, I feel like maybe exploring 2 or 3 packs, maybe 4, and just sitting with it for a week or 2, maybe a month, and really exploring the different, let's get this drum kit, this vintage drums, and just exploring the sounds and seeing how you can really maximize those sounds and find your favorite sounds within each of those banks. So we have the vintage synth, the vintage drums, and I think that should work. Let's just add in these modern synths right here, so might get a little synthy today, but that's cool. All right. So now we can close all of this out, and now we're ready to create. We got a blank canvas, so to speak, right now. Since I know, me personally, there's 2 ways you can start. You can start with the drums, or you can start with a melody. For me personally, if I kind of have an idea of the tempo, I start with the drums. I know I kind of want to do some up tempo. I don't know exactly what yet, but let's start with the drums. And so those sounds that we just downloaded, you're like, well, where are they? You can click over here. You'd be like, I can't find them. They're in here. They're just scrambled with everything else. But if you want to isolate those sounds, we have to go up here to the top where it says all sounds, and now they have everything in folder. So everything that you've downloaded is right up here. So you see those vintage drum machine drums? They're right here. So now we can go through and audition the sounds. Uh-oh, I like that right there. Kind of remind me of like a skate. We used to truck. If anybody know about skating, we used to call it trucking. Did y'all so now I'm sorry, let me tell you what I did. So now I'm gonna look for a tempo. So if you click right here, there's gonna be like your loop bar, and I can drag this however many bars I want to do. But let's start with 4-bar loop, and then I can drag my tempo. If I press space bar, let me just give you these tips out the way. I can press K, and that's going to toggle my metronome. You kind of need that to get started, off and on. So let's start with the metronome on, and let's find a good tempo. All right, let's start with this right here. So 1, 2, 3. All right, now what I want to do next is I can just press enter, and that's going to stop the recording. And now I need to quantize that. So in order to do that, let's click on the track. It's a few ways to do it. You can go back and, like I said, watch a lot of my other tutorials. I show you a couple ways to quantize. But I like to press Q, and that's going to move this quantize over here. Once again, I'll do it again. If I press Q, it just went to 116 notes. And if you don't have that, or if it's not working for you, just pull the drop down on your regions tab and go to quantize 116 over here. All right, so let's keep building. Let's keep building. So I want to use this same drum pack right here. So what I can do is I can hit these two plus signs, and it's going to duplicate that same drum pack over here. So let's see if we can find another sound. If I want to audition another sound, it's just right here. So let's switch this up. I like this snare. Let's add the snare, press record, R. All right, so the same thing is going to apply. We're going to click on this track, and you can press Q to quantize, or we can go over here and just drag down our 116. So now it's quantized. Let's play it back. I'm going to press K for a second to take the quantize off and hear it. All right, perfect. Let's keep building. Let's add in a hi-hat really quickly. Let's add this in. And let's say I want to do that again. I can easily hit delete, or I can press Command Z, and that just undo what I just did. So let's try that one more time. Press R. All right, so let's do a couple things with this. So let's click on it. Let's press Q. It's going to quantize it. Let's play it. I want to change up a few things. I want to edit a few notes. Well, how do I do that? We can double click on the track, whatever region. So this hi-hat, let's double click this and let's play it. I want to take this part off right here. I want to take that so I can move this hi-hat. I can move it around, drag it around to different things. I can press Option and copy it over and move things around that type of way. So excuse me. What I'm going to do is let me press Command Z and undo some of this. I'm going to figure out. I want to take this one out. I want to delete this sound. And I want to keep this sound right here on this note, but it's not loud enough. It's a couple ways to do this, but as a beginner way, without getting too complicated, what I can do is I can just go in and delete this, and then I can take this note if I want this one and press Option and drag it over to right here. So it basically copied and pasted over. There you go. So this is a hi-hat. And since we're building a lot of projects, a good thing I like to do is after each recording or every so often, I want to go back and label what I did. So I know this is my hi-hats. I'm going to double click here. This is my snare. And then I'm going to double click here and label this as my kick. And the reason it's a good way to do that, so now if you ever want to pass this session on to somebody else, or when you come back and want to mix things, turn some things up and down, you don't have to guess where things are or try to remember. It's right there labeled for you. All right, so let's keep building. We have our kick and our snare. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead, now that I have a good start, let's go ahead and make this a 8-bar loop, because I want to start adding a little bit more layers and depths to this. I know this is a beginner kind of tutorial showing you how to use Logic Pro, but let's not limit our creativity. Let's maximize what we can do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight all of this right here, and I'm gonna press Command R, and that's gonna repeat everything over. And then I'm gonna move my loop bar, instead of 4 bars, I'm gonna loop it over to 8 bars. So let's play it back now. Perfect. So now let's keep building. And once again, my name is Kris KeyZ. If you're enjoying this, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. It definitely helps out the channel, as I'm still a small channel growing. We want to definitely help as many people use their talents and their skills and turn that into a career. So thank you guys for watching this far. So let's move on. So I want to take one more element. Now that we got an 8-bar loop, I want to add one more hi-hat pattern. So I'm kind of getting into a little bit of layering sounds. So if you're watching this thus far, this is not a beginner little trick, but I want to layer that hi-hat pattern with another hi-hat. So let's find a sharp hi-hat. Let's use this one. This is the 808. And I also don't have to play the whole thing, since I just want to add something on the back end. I'm going to click up here and I can drag, and that's going to re-highlight my loop bar. So I can take it anywhere and just highlight wherever I want, but I know I want to do 4 bars, so I'm going to start at this 5, and I can either drag it like this, or say if I already had something over here, for example, I could just drag the whole loop bar just like that. So very cool. Logic, I'll say this all the time. Logic has so many ways that you can do one simple thing. So if somebody tells you one way, don't always have to take it in stone that this is the way it has to be. All right, so let's record a hi-hat pattern. Or you know what? You know what would be cool? Let's do this. Since this is kind of fast, this is another trick or something I've been doing here lately. I want to do like a fast hi-hat, right? So let's do this. Since it's kind of fast, let's use Logic's tools to make it happen. So I'm going to press record and record a simple hi-hat pattern first. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to quantize it, press Q. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my audio effects, and I'm going to go down here to multi-effects and beat breaker. And now I can turn this hi-hat into multiple things. And once again, this is just one way that you can do this. I'm going to just tweak my hi-hats a little bit. So I'm going to play it back. And I'm going to just go in here and double time it a little bit. Very cool, right? And from here, now if I want to, I can change the level. Say if I want to turn it down, I can go right here, still in my arrangement view, and just turn it down a little bit, right? I wouldn't mess around too much with the pan yet, but if I wanted to pan something left or right, I can do that from here. And if I ever want to reset it, I can press down Option, and that takes me back to the center or back to 0, whatever I want to reset. So let's mix this hi-hat in. And listen to our 8-bar loop now. We'll call this the fast hi-hats. All right, perfect. All right. So now, once again, now we got a good solid drum foundation. We can come back, we can add more elements to this. This isn't the end be all, but this is now gives me a good starting point. I know, okay, is this tempo working? Do I need to speed it up, slow it down? I think this tempo is cool for right now. So now let's start adding some synths. Let's see where these new synths that we added, let's see where they take us, where they inspire us to go. So I'm gonna go up here to this plus sign, and I'm gonna add a new MIDI track, new software instrument. Just press create, and then I'm gonna go up here to my folders, my packs, and we're gonna go on vintage synth. That's what we're doing. So we have our pianos. Let's see what this is. All right, we can go back to our synth. We got our arpeggios. Oh, here we go. Let's play a beat. We're just gonna let the sounds inspire us, right? If I hold it down, this is what it sounds like. But if I just barely hit it a little bit here and there, let's see what the overhead for my overhead. Let's start with that. We're just gonna add little elements, right? Maybe I wouldn't necessarily start with that, but let's add it. We can always come back and take it out. There we go. All right. Now, say I want to take this. Let's do the same thing we've been doing. Let's quantize it, press Q. Say I want to take this second half. I like the second half a little bit better for whatever reason. What I can do is, do I have to redo the whole thing? What can I do to just keep part of what I took? There's a couple ways you can do it. Right here at the top, they give you kind of two options that you can control with your mouse. Right now it's on the pointer tool, so that's why you see the arrow. Now, if I change the pointer tool to, like, say, a eraser, you see how it now turns to eraser where I can erase stuff. You can change it to several different things. But let's change this back to the pointer. The second one, this is what I kind of like to use. I like the marquee tool, but just to keep it simple, if I want to, I can change the second one and click on scissor tool. So now whatever's selected up here, when I go over something and I highlight command, it'll turn to that. So now I can chop right here, cut in half, use that scissor tool, cut in half, and now I can delete this. I can use the second half, click this here, and hold down Option, and drag this over like this. So now I have that second half going twice. All right, so let's label this arpeggio, and let's keep building. So we're gonna use the same pack again. Let's duplicate that. And if your computer speed or something is freezing up, if you need to update your computer or make some hard drive space, instead of duplicating the track, just go up here to hit the plus sign and create a MIDI track. It does the exact same thing. All right, so we have our track. Matter of fact, let me just do it this way again. So we just go up here, hit the plus sign, hit the MIDI track, boom. And we're right back where we started. So let's go to see what keyboard sounds we have. That's cool. Let's keep seeing what kind of sounds we have. All right, very cool. Let's add that. Some cool little synth pass. What is this? Backwards masking. All right. I'm gonna take some of these notes out. Just highlight them and delete. Turn it down just a little bit. All right, y'all still with me? Leave me some comments. Let me know how you feeling. Are y'all catching the vibe? Of y'all something new, interesting that you might add into your workflow? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate it. All right, so let's keep adding to this. So I have like a nice synth pad. It's a couple things you can do. I can take this synth. I want to layer with something else. That's the thing about creating too, is it's not so much just taking one sound. When you take just one sound, you know, a lot of these sounds, they sound incredible just out the box. But if you want to take your production to the next level, you want to kind of start finding ways to, it's like a band, you know, when you have just one instrument, it sounds great. A keyboardist or a guitar sounds great with the vocals. But once you start layering in a bass, once you layer in the organ, once you layer in the keyboards, the strings, you know, it starts getting fuller. So as you're composing, think of yourself as that. You're not just a beat maker, you're a composer. You're composing all of these different elements. So you don't necessarily have to put all the instruments and all the lines on the guitar. You know, leave room for the strings to do something. Leave a gap for the bass or the singer or something. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. So one of the things I like to do to leave room or to see, just to experiment, is to use EQ. And once again, I'm the type of person that I take away versus adding all the time. So if I play it, I can go to my EQ. And all I did up here is just click at the top, and it automatically opens up for you. And it kind of shows you the frequencies that this particular sound is carrying, like 200 to 6K, you know, 10K. And this is, once again, it's a beginner tutorial, but I just want to show you what all you can do as you create. So I can take out the EQ right here. Right? Versus, it sounds good, but it took up a lot of space. So I can pick and choose different frequencies. Choose what type of atmosphere I want to create, right? And this is all preference. You know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I just wanted to just show you how now we can start leaving room. And now if I just take some of this out, in my head, it now opens up, more possibilities. I can put something here. But let's be mindful. Everything has been very simplistic so far, right? So let's leave this here. Let's have that EQ. And a lot of times, once again, you probably don't even need that EQ, but I just wanted to show you. Matter of fact, we can take a lot of that out. We can mute it. But I did want to show you that. Maybe I could have saved that. I hope I didn't add too much on you. A little bit more of an advanced trick. All right, so let's keep adding. Let's add another synth. Let's go over here to add another MIDI track. We're gonna go to our synth again, and let's see what type of bass we have. add something. So we're gonna try to keep it a little bouncy. Let's see what happens. Little scruffy, but let's just use this for an idea. I don't want the video to get too long, but let's quantize, and I can show you how we can go and edit it. So I can press Q. Let's double click. And let's just take out little elements. And I can press Control M as well. Sometimes instead of deleting, I can press Control M. Maybe I want to come back to it. And I know it's like, oh, it's just a little nut. No, it doesn't matter. But remember how we quantized? Say I go here and I select these two right here. And then within the piano roll, there's its own quantization too. So I can individually go in and unquantize certain notes. So that was like a little grace note that I had. So now if I go back and play it, it sounded weird unquantized, but if I go back and play it, let's unmute this part right here. Sounds a little cleaner. And I can even go in and move this a little bit, maybe to give it a little bit more of that grace note or that sliding feel. See how that works? And I can tell this note doesn't need to be here, but let's just mute it. Control M. Click right here. All right, and now you have a bass line, a simple bass line. And once again, this is something you use your creativity to come up with whatever melodies that you have. But I'm just showing you how we can stack in our sound choices for using Logic. I have like my higher. Now I'm adding my lower tone. Now I need to find maybe something in the middle frequencies, and that could be a vocal, it could be a melody, a lead, something. But we're stacking all the right instruments so far. So far, so good, I think. All right, so I like this so far. For me personally, I want to keep arranging. So let's once again do what we did before. Let's highlight all of this, and let's we can press Command R and repeat that, or we can just highlight everything and hold down Option and drag it over that way. Let's move our loop over. So now we got a 17 bar loop, 16 bar loop. Add our next sound, go up here to the plus sign, add create. Let's go back to our synth sounds. Let's see what these pluck sounds have. I just felt it in the moment. And the cool thing about Logic, if you just feel something in the moment, you don't have to necessarily stop. You can just press, say, if I feel it right now, I can just press record. right? You don't necessarily have to stop every time. If I'm not feeling it, I can press delete. I like to keep the music going. Once again, I'm gonna quantize. I'm gonna press command to bring up my scissor tool like before. Let's delete this. And I can move this to the top. And since I'm going, if I want this to go over the whole 4 bars, I can press command R, right? And now it goes over my whole 16 bars. So I just want it over the last 16 bars. I can delete the first 2. Turn it down. Maybe pan it a little bit to the right. And once again, it's little elements, certain things coming in, certain things coming out. I'm not fully arranging a song, but I'm taking little elements in and out as I create. And that's basically an inspiration to me, right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be inspired by the sounds and also just the way everything flows, the workflow. So let's keep adding. You know, we can stop right here, but I'm showing you how you can continue adding sounds to make your beats a little bit more full. Like I said, you might want to stick around if you even if you know how to use Logic Pro. You can use some of these tips and strategies. Once again, my name is Kris KeyZ. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you can know when I go live and do some more of these tutorials, or go live and you can ask me questions live. All right, but let's keep adding. We're gonna add in. Let's go back to our pads over here. Let's see what our pads have. It's just 2 chords. And since I duplicated it, here's a point thing to note out. Since I duplicated this last track, it's going to duplicate those exact settings. So that pan I had and the volume, if I just want to reset it, I can hold down Option and click on that pan, and then hold down Option and click on this, and it'll reset it back to 0. So just another little side tip to look at. All right, let's add those synths on the second half. So what I'm gonna do is move my loop. I'm gonna click on it so it unloops it, and then I'm just gonna drag right here. So that's gonna have me record on my second half, or the last 8 bars of the loop. I'm just gonna add some pads real quick. Quantize it. Well, actually, I just want to quantize the first part of it. So what I'm gonna do is double click on it. You guys are getting all my gems today. I just want this to start on the 1. So what I'm gonna do is take this. It's a couple ways you can do this, but I don't want it all of them to start on the 1. I'm gonna highlight all of these. Since I played it like this, I'm just gonna drag all of these, and it's gonna snap to that grid. So now it's going to start right on the 1. That first note's going to start on the 1, and everything's going to kind of, like a harp, just kind of trill right on in nicely. You hear that? Let's go back here and add more to our drums. Now that we got some ideas, let's beef up the drums with maybe 1 or 2 more elements, and then we can call it a nice completed track for now, I guess. But what I'm gonna do is go back. For me personally, I like to keep things organized when I'm creating. So I like, as you can see, I have all of my drums in this section, and then I have all of my melodies and instruments down here. Me personally, I don't really want to put another drum instrument say down here. and then I have drums up here. So now when I go back and mix, I kind of have everything in one area. Now it's okay if you are creating this way, because if I did do that, it's no problem to just go up here and drag something up there and keep things organized. So no right or wrong way to do it. Once again, this is just my creative flow that you can take bits and pieces from to add into your workflow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add let's add another hi-hat sound. So I've already just added a track, so I'm just going to go up here where this electric instrument is. I'm going to go to note instrument, and that's going to pull back up, give me the opportunity to now find my synth or my drum sound. So let's go to my vintage drum machines again, and let's find some sounds. Let's go to electric drums, and let's see what we got. See what we can find. All right, let's add this. Gotta add the zap sound in. This sound right here is a classic 80s sounds. Everybody knows where you, I don't know what it means, what it feels, but it just makes you feel like dancing every time I hear this sound. Let me find a good rhythm for it. I'm still trying to find it. Let me do it one more time here. We'll keep that for now. You quantize it. Call this the zap. All right, let's keep building. Let's duplicate this. Find an open hi-hat. Simple elements. Just a simple note. So I got that bars. Let's click on it, press Q, quantize it, drag this over, label this open hi-hat. You see how it starts flowing? I started out kind of slow, but the more I do it, the quicker and faster you start doing it. Your brain is always creating and always thinking of the next move. It's just up to you to find the workflow to keep up with your brain. So now I got that hi-hat going. Turn the zap up. What's that? Let's add one more element. Add like a little clave stick in there. Let's quantize that. Label this little clave. Maybe I pan this. Maybe pan the zap over a little bit. You know, and we're pretty much done from here. But you see how all these little elements are starting to add up. And if you just wanted to be one more thing, be like, can't help yourself. You like me. Let's add one more element. Let's see where it sounds take us. Maybe we add a little crash cymbal in there. 1, 2. the crash symbol. And I'm not doing any reverb or any EQ too much on it. I told you a little bit on the pads. I did a little bit EQ, just, you know, gave you a little sneak peek of how to tweak some sounds. But for the most part, everything was just out of the box of Logic. I didn't have to use Omnisphere, you know, Nexus or Contact, all these other plugins. Everything Logic, that's what I'm telling you. Logic has so much to offer. If you just dig, if you just be creative. And even within that, I can go in and use some of the plugins to manipulate these sounds and basically turn those sounds into my own creative flow. But for the most part, this is the basic way that how you can start creating and using Logic for beginners. And like I said, a little bit for intermediates, just depending on where you are in your journey. Now, one last thing. Now that we got everything, feel like we got our elements. What I like to do is to kind of mix everything out. We're not going to go like a whole mixing thing. We're just going to balance turn some things up and down. I like to go to the highest part of the song, which is this second 8 bars right here, where I have the most stuff in. And one way you can do it, you can go, press X, and that's going to bring up your mixing window. Now what you can do is start soloing the important part. So I have my kick, maybe my snare right there for this particular song. I can start there. Now you don't necessarily, when you're mixing, turning things up and down, you don't necessarily have to start it's no certain order. It's all on preference. For me, maybe I want to add in my bass. And I'm just finding levels that I'm basically using my ears while at the same time using these meters down here as a gauge. I'm not going to get too much into what to look for, but you just want to make sure that you're not peeking out, which nothing's peeked out, but you want to make sure nothing's in the red, I guess you could say. Unless it's a certain sound you're looking for. Start adding in our arpeggio maybe. Turn our percussions up a little bit. Normally I would add like a little reverb to this clave, so we can go in. On these meters right here, we have different options to add effects. So I can type in a reverb. Say we want to use a chroma verb. Let's change this. Let's look at some of the presets they have. Maybe like a room, large room. Hear the difference without the reverb? You can mess with the EQ, but we're not going to do too much. We're just going to add just a little reverb. Now let's go back and add a pad here. Maybe I want to go in and on this hi-hat right here, we can add a little EQ. On this top box up here, you can already see it on this track right here. But on this top box, this is always your EQ, like Logic's quick EQ. Anytime I click on that, it's going to give me a little EQ. So I can go in, maybe add a little top end. Oh, this is the wrong track. Not this one. Not the clave track, but the cymbals. This is what I want. And this is another trick that you can use. Instead of turning things up, maybe go in and add some EQ. Instead of turning things down, maybe take the EQ and take some EQ out of it. You know, boost the EQ is a trick to add EQ. Now you don't have to go this crazy. Like these are your numbers over here, like your dBs, 10 dBs. You don't have to go that crazy. It might just be 1 or 2 dBs, 3 dBs. But that's just another way of how you can start cleaning up your tracks from sounding like a beginner to more like a professional track, right? So got the hi-hat going. Let's open our other open hi-hat. So I solely muted everything or soloed everything in. I can press this solo button at the top to unsolo everything. Now let's hear everything from the track. Let's just drag our loop back to the top. See if we need to add anything. Let's go ahead and add another track. I already know me. There's more you can add, right? Let's go back to let's add maybe one more drum sound. I just added something on the beat section. Just want to beef it up so it's a real dynamic between the first part and the second part. So I'm gonna add one more time. Let me loop this part and get it right real quick. Press G for quantize. I think I added too many claps right here. All right, and since these quantized, I'm telling you, y'all getting some gems today. So since these notes right here, these little cymbal sounds, they're all just long notes. I want them to sustain as long as possible. I can go in and I can highlight, just press the note on the side of my keypad, and that's gonna highlight everything that I recorded on that particular note. And I can press shift and backslash, and that's gonna move all those notes to the full length of that region until something else happens. So it's now gonna give me that full note. Everything's gonna be consistent, right? And that's what you want. Like if I'm just thinking like building a house, what makes a modern house look so good versus a house that's torn down is all the lines are crisp. The engineer and the handyman that came in, he makes sure he leveled and squared everything off like a T. And that's kind of how I think about music. You know, I want to square things out. When I go to my transitions, I want them to be clean transitions. I want my chords to when somebody comes in, they can have an idea, oh, when I go around this corner, it must be a bathroom, right? Or it's a kitchen around here. You know, you want it to flow. So that's kind of what I'm doing now is I'm squaring things off, measuring, adding little elements. And before you know it, you have a nice build of a beat that makes sense and that's attractive for your listeners, right? A lot of dynamics as well. So this will be another hi-hat and a clap. And what we'll do is we'll do the same thing. We'll move this up here. start. Now we can keep adding. If you're a vocalist, you might hear like some melodies or something. We can add some more top line melodies. We can add some more top line melodies to this. But for the most part, I think you got to have a good idea of how to start from A to Z using a track, how to make a track. We could have took this in any direction. It could have been a hip hop track, or R&B track. Just really let the music and the sounds take me in a direction. The one last thing, if you're a beginner, I always say this, just if you wanted to listen to your music in the car, just to go back and listen to your hard work, you can go back to your mixing window here, and as I play it, at the very end, you'll see this purple where it says stereo out. This is your mastering chain right here. So they have a tool in here if you're on the new Logic, where it kind of masters your track for you, so you don't have to go in and try to figure out how to learn how to master or add plugins. You could just press this master, and it'll do like an AI mastering for you. Just give it a few seconds to read, and the playback on it, it'll be a lot cleaner. It'll probably be louder. It's just going to do what it feels necessary to make it the best. So if I play it back now, turn it off, you can hear the difference in it. And I'll let you go in and tweak. You can tweak with the loudness. You can tweak, mess with the different transparency. All right, so cool. So now that we have that, so we made our beat, everything's mapped out for the most part. Now we're ready to bounce it down to an MP3. How do we do that? So the next thing you want to do, let's just make this one more bar, because if you're listening to it in the car, you want it to be longer than 15 seconds or 30 seconds, right? So we're going to highlight everything, and we're going to press Command R again. So that's going to loop it and give me a little bit longer, and you can do this as long as you want. You can loop it 10 minutes, 5 minutes, as long as you want. But for this purpose, let's just do, we're going to do it twice. To 33 bars right here, right? We're just going to get an idea. And you can also go up here to the top if you like, well, I wonder how long it is. This is a little bit more of advanced. Once again, I'm giving y'all some gems. Just go over here to where this arrow is and right click and hit customize control bar. And from there, go in where it says display. We just want to change that to custom. And now we can click out of this. And now wherever we click our marker, it'll tell you how many seconds it is right here. So if you want it to be, 2 minutes long, then all you have to do is just take all this and duplicate it again. And now you're at basically a 2-minute song. All right. So let's say we have a 2-minute song. Let's just keep that. So we take this loop bar, and at the end, just to make sure, because sometimes it acts funny on you, we're going to move this end marker. And this is just going to tell Logic where to stop the recording at. Now you got to remember, when I play, there's going to be a little bit of feedback and reverb when I stop the record. So after I play it, you hear that tail. So you want to leave a little bit of time for that tail to come off, so when your song end, it's just not like a abrupt cutoff. So I'm going to move that arrow maybe a couple bars out or a bar or two out, and now I'm going to press return. And that's going to take me back to the beginning of the track. And I'm going to press, go up here to File. And I'm going to go to Bounce. And I'm going to put Bounce Project or Section. And from here, it's going to give you a whole bunch of options. For the most part, the easiest thing to remember is you got your MP3. Or if you want a WAV file, you can click Uncompress. It's up to you to choose whichever one, or you can choose both. For me, I'm just going to choose an MP3. Leave everything else basically the same as it is, kind of like the default settings for the most part. And I'm going to press OK. And then it's going to ask me from here where I want to save it at. Hopefully it doesn't freeze up on me. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, there we go. So it's just going to ask you where to save it at. You can choose whatever folder on your hard drive or computer. I'm just going to save this on my desktop for right now. And oh, I didn't even save this. We didn't even save this yet. But hopefully you will save your session first. I'll show you how to do that, but we can go ahead and do this first. So we're going to bounce this down Actually, let me keep this track. Let's we're gonna call this. I'm gonna put this in my folder here. Actually, I'm gonna put it on my desktop. I'll move it later. So we're gonna call this track right here. I don't know what to call it. 80s cat. Instead of Doja Cat, we're gonna call it 80s. I don't want to call it 80s cat. 80s vibe. 80s. This is the hardest part of creating. It's not coming up with the music. It's trying to name your song after you did it. We'll just call this a 80s toot toot, because it was a tutorial, I guess you could say. So we'll just put this on our hard drive. Just press bounce, and then boom, it's going to bounce it to your hard drive. And then when you go look for it, however files that you want it, WAV file, MP3, it'll be right there for you. Now, I should have told you just a long time ago, but let me show you how to save your files. It's very simple, pretty much the same format as bouncing your files. You can press Command S, or you can go up here to Logic, File, and then just go to Save or Save As. And same formula. Just choose where you want to save it at. I'm gonna save mine. Go ahead and save mine on my Logic sessions under Kris KeyZ. And let's just, what do we call this one? We call this 80s toot toot. And if you ever want to understand how to categorize your folders or your hard drives, once you do this for a long time, you're going to make several tracks, several beats, several songs. You want to be able to go back and pull those tracks, or if you're selling music, you want to be able to go back and find those songs very easily. So definitely check out my video on how I organize my external hard drives, and add that once again to your workflow. But for the most part, great job today. This is the beat once again that we made. 80s vibe. What do you think, man? I think we did all right. Just starting with the Logic sounds and be inspired. 1, 2, 3. And we can go in and change some things up. Maybe take those hi-hats out right there. This is more of the arrangement side, but that was just quick as we go, a little bit of arrangement. But feel free to have fun with it. Definitely take this track as a way of inspiration, as a launching pad to add to your creativity. Once again, it's your boy Kris KeyZ. If you haven't already, help the channel out. I'm still a small channel, so be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that notification bell so you know every time I go live or drop a new video. You guys have a great rest of the day. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Peace.